Melody Beattie is one of my favorite writers, and as we open up this episode of Don't Quit, Do It YouTube episode, I want to read something in relation to forgiveness. This is going to be the theme of this episode, forgiveness. I know people talk about it, but it is tough to do. Here's what she said. Resentments are hardened chunks of anger. They loosen up and dissolve with forgiveness and letting go. Wow. Process that a minute. This might be a little bit shorter episode than what we've been doing here at the Don't Quit Do It channel. And I'll tell you why. This is a tough one to approach because it hits each of us uniquely. And through this episode, I may trigger some memories in you, not to have you get upset with me, but if people want to be real and find even more joy, this one to me is a hidden ace card that the last couple of years I've had to really focus on and practice daily. Because there are some days I do not want to let go. So why I'm thinking deep down, most people don't want to forgive. Let me give you 3 quick reasons. People like the attention. They really do. Sometimes they're like, well, did you hear what they did? They get some attention at the coffee shop, at the family reunion, after church. Did you hear what they did? Yeah, I'm so upset. People want validation, and one of the quickest ways to do it is to find an enemy. Politics does it all the time. Religions do it. Politicians are the masters of doing it. They want to get you all ginned up so you're angry. Is that helpful, really? Does that really serve anything? I'm not trying to be like on a soapbox in this episode, but I really want you to do some critical thinking that if you're going to watch this episode and you're dialed into some of the pattern of what our message is about positivity and improving your life, that a lot of old resentments, like Melody Beattie's quote, letting them go, yeah, you're going to have to find something new to talk about, something new to focus on, hopefully something a whole lot more positive. Maybe after this episode, you binge watch a few of these episodes of Don't Quit, Do It. You go, oh my gosh, there's a different way of living. And what concerns me is I'm on the road doing this the last 20 years is how people get stuck in their habits. They don't even know they're doing it. They're just like, yeah, 7 years ago, my ex-wife, or I don't know, business partner that ripped off a bunch of things. Or maybe you've got something that you need to forgive. So I'm going to share something right out of the gate. If you're perfect, move along. This YouTube channel is not for you. We're going to talk about tough things in certain episodes like this one. And many times we have to forgive ourselves for things that we are still holding on to. I do an event called Life by Design in Sedona, Arizona. And just this past May, one of the exercises that we did with our attendees in a circle outside is I had them hold on to a little handful of sand. And I asked them this question. I said, what is something that each of you around the circle, including me, needs to finally let go that we've been holding on to for far too long? And I said, do this with me. All right, release. Turn your hand and drop the sand. Because when you turn your hand, what's in your hand? Open space. You can now replace it with something better. But until you let go of that anger and you forgive someone, you're going to be stuck clutching on to something old that's no longer serving you. And I'd never done that exercise in front of a live group. It was very therapeutic for me. But why I share this is simply this. I know many people in that circle have been telling that story about someone that wronged them or this relationship from 10 years ago. It still controls them. It owns their thoughts. It owns their soul. And until they do, like in that example, that exercise we did in Arizona, they let it go, it's still going to haunt them. And new, better memories, enjoying the present moment, aren't going to be able to move in and replace the void because they're clogging up their soul and their thoughts and their mind with that dark energy. Okay? Second reason why I think people deep down love having the enemy and not forgiving people. They like to tell the story. I'm also sharing with you things that I've done in my past that I know for years I kept holding on to things I should have let go of years ago. And there's still new things that pop up. I'm like, I'm not fully over that. So again, this is not stuff that is sexy. It's not easy to convey in a book. Therapists make fortunes off this. They count on you not letting go for years and years, so they can just keep showing up. Like, oh, he's year number 8, still talking about his ex-wife. How many years does he want to talk about that? They're still billing you. So I'm not here to take on the therapy industry, but at some point, you should fire your therapist because you've healed. You've moved on. Now, I'm going to get some comments, I'm sure. What? Are you kidding me? You're not a mental health expert. No, let me clarify. I've had great therapists. I have great books. I have great spiritual teachers. I have great ministers. They're witnessing to me. But at the end of the day, who controls your life? You have to take personal responsibility, okay? Third reason why I think a lot of people won't forgive. They have an alibi. They have a convenient excuse. Well, I can't get to go ahead in my career because, my boss is this or that. You know what? I can't find a relationship because my ex one, she did this and that, or he did that to me, or she said that, or she went on Facebook and said this and that. That's an alibi after a while. It's an excuse. And at what point, as a mature adult, are you going to say, you know what? I need to let that go. So if you're taking a note right now, let me give you 4 words that you take away from this episode. Here it is. Let that shit go. Drop it. Remove it. And if you really do it, you're going to be like, oh my God, why did I do this earlier? And it might be the biggest motivational tip you ever get is letting that shit go. Now, I might get a strike on YouTube. The algorithm may not like this. People want reality. Have you seen the movie A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson? In the courtroom scene, Tom Cruise is interviewing Jack Nicholson, and he says to Cruise in a heated exchange about military code of conduct, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. This episode's going to piss some people off. Good. Maybe it'll wake you up. Maybe it won't hit you till an hour later. Maybe you're upset right now. He doesn't know my situation. That's the voice in your head called the excuse factory, the alibi factory. How do I know? Because I've had years where it owned me. And some days it wants to come back and take my brain and my soul and reintegrate. There is no solution immediately to forgive constantly. It's a daily work in progress. It's part of, I believe, our life journey is to continue to forgive. And you let it go. I learned this a lot. Let's go back to the origin point. In my faith walk as a Christian believer, and secondly, in circles as a former addict. Okay? Gamblers Anonymous, or we call it GA. One of the steps in there is called making amends. It's the 9th step, where you ask people to forgive you. They can grant it or not. They can make an amend with you or not. Some you do face-to-face, some you do on the phone, and some you write and you never ask them because it might injure or cause an old wound to inflame. So some amends you ask for from a distance. They never know you asked for it. But many are done face-to-face. And I can tell you it was interesting when I made the amends process, when I came clean about my former gambling problem, the people that forgave me. I was just like, whew, I don't know what they're going to say. And a few people that laughed in my face. I had one person laugh in my face when I asked them to make amends or if there's anything else I could do. And they just laughed and laughed. And I walked away pissed, angry, upset, shameful. And after a few weeks, I'm like, you know what? It took a lot of guts to make and ask for the amend or the forgiveness. And whether what they say or not, that's not on you, Tony. You at least had the guts to do that. And you wronged some people. You have to own that. And if they give you the gift of forgiveness, that's a bonus. But not everyone's going to be grateful or forgive you. Okay? So to me, I look at this and go, Lord, I am grateful for the gift of wisdom. I don't want to continue to make mistakes, but it's going to happen. That's part of being human. Is I've talked about other episodes, how do you fail forward? So you learn the lesson, you keep moving forward to serve your life better than others, but you don't keep repeating it. Okay? And I want to share a recent example here since we're on the topic of forgiveness. The last few months, I've had some people in my life actually join forces and come after me and talk about me. And I'm not going to name names, but I will tell you I've had some points of anger, frustration, thinking, what is going on? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I know that I try to have empathy and look at the full equation of why they're thinking that or why they're mad at me. But I had about 2 months where I was like, is this going to stop? And it's triggering an old thing I thought I'd let go of called forgiveness. It's bringing back dark emotions. And recently, the last couple of weeks, I've had to tell myself, how much longer do you want to keep fixated on what these people are doing? They may have already moved on from it. You're still stuck. You're still thinking about it. They're living completely rent-free in your mind. So I turn to my faith walk, and I've asked God, higher power, God of our understanding we learn in recovery, to allow me to let this go and to forgive it. And it's been much easier because I've had some days I don't think about this. So the forgiveness process to me is working. It's also not on me because they have free will. They're projecting their issues. I can either say, you know what, that's your life. I'll let you have your freedom of expression, or it's going to impact me. I choose to say, it's all right, I forgive you. And I'll leave you with this. I use a lot of affirmations in daily prayer sets. And I used this with a friend of mine yesterday that was going through a real tough time. He called me. I said, let me give you one of my affirmations that I use. I sometimes will say it throughout the day quite often, is I am extending love and forgiveness to all, especially myself. And sometimes I'll repeat that when I'm driving, walking, in church sometimes, just thinking, because I can get in my own head. That's the human condition. A lot of inspirational self-help speakers will not go this dark down the rabbit hole. I'm going there. Not by choice. If you'd told me 10 years ago this would be my path, I'd say, there's no way. But I want to take you in, not to ever name names or to betray the recovery family I'm in, ever want to misuse that or misrepresent. But I want to get you in the mind of how I've worked through some very dark shit and things that I've had to say, Lord, I'm lost right now. I'm counting on you, but I need more than just a prayer set. What are the tools? And the best tool I can share with you in this episode is let that shit go. And when you forgive people, the amount of freedom and joy and the uplifting of your soul, your thoughts, your energy, your body, and your healing will astound you. So, with that, I appreciate you checking out this episode. Would love to hear your comments. What are some of your favorite ways to forgive people? Please keep it clean. I don't want to hear you ranting about an ex, this and that and that. But, please share with our global audience as we build this thing, what has helped you to forgive people? Because we check out those comments and we do listen. Until next time, take care.